Hey there everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I am here as a guest designer for the Ink Road. Laura contacted me and asked if I would like to make a few projects using some of her awesome stamps. And of course I said yes. And so I got this awesome box and I'm just going to open it right quick and show you what is in it. I love this font and you get this cute message on the inside of your box. And then you get this awesome tissue paper. It has gold shiny dots on it. I'm going to keep this and use this on a project. You know I love tissue paper, and so that is a keeper. She includes this cute little card. It's got some information on it, the website, and a cute little quote on the back. And then as a little freebie gift, she sent me some sequins and a little green Hampton Art stamp pad, and I actually use it for the project that I'm going to create here in just a minute. So I love all of these things. I will definitely use them all. Look at these sequins. They're kind of like a pearlescent clear, but they're very shimmery. And so now on to the stamps. She sent me several different sizes and shapes, and I love this one here. It's a small one. It's got 2 leaves. What a lovely face saying, super cute. I'm going to use that leaf here in just a moment. This one would be great for planning. I'm not a planner, but you could still use these on a layout. I love that scripty font. I use that all the time. I love these little sayings. You are crazy beautiful. You deserve royal subjects. You are 10 kinds of wonderful. You are the funfetti of cakes. These are just fun, different sayings that you don't see every day, and I love how those are printed in that block style. This one is great for a birthday. You've got solid balloons, and then you've got the outline of a balloon. Some really cute, interesting sayings for birthdays, and then you've got the numbers. This one is really adorable. You've got some hearts, and then the speech bubbles. Cutest little phrases. The internet knows I like you. I just think these are so cute. Another one with a bunch of different sayings. What the fudge? I can't emphasize this enough. Consider this DM car paid. It's a no from me. Behold, the what? Oh, I turned it. I can't read it. I moved it too fast, but it was funny. Now this one is adorable. It's cats. I mean, come on. How adorable is this? You've got open cat heads, and then you've got eyes, and you've got whiskers, and you've got noses and mouths, glasses, and then you've got some at the bottom that are already made up for you. You could just have a heyday doing this. There's a little crown and a little bow tie. So, so cute. Okay, so I'm going to make one layout for this video, and then I'm going to make another layout in a separate video to come. Now, when I saw that leaf, I was completely inspired to make a tropical type of layout. I've kind of been on a tropical kick lately, and so I took the little green stamp pad that she included in my package along with a couple other ink pads. Now 2 of these are from the Dollar Spot at Michael's, I believe, and then the bigger one is a dye-based ink pad. I've had that thing for forever, and I honestly can't believe it's not dried up. I don't really have a lot of ink pads. The ones I do have, I've had for years, and they're either dried up or they're getting close. You know, I don't really have a lot, so I kind of just used what I had. And one of them is kind of an aqua green color, and I kind of mixed and matched some of the greens. So I had bright green, more of an aqua green, a grassy green, and then kind of that aqua mix. And when they dry, they're going to look a little bit different, but I'm going to take some time to fussy cut not all of these, but a lot of them out. And I just used a piece of scrap cardstock there. And so there they are, all cut out. I think these look really cool. And I love that you can see the texture of the cardstock through the ink. You know, sometimes it doesn't bother me if a stamp doesn't stamp perfectly. I kind of like when it's kind of distressed and faded looking. So there's the picture that I'm going to use. It's of my daughter, and she's on her patio, and there's all these palm trees and things behind her. And it's not a super bright green layout, but the purple and the green, it just kind of made me think of tropical colors, and so I'm going to use that photo. Now I'm going to jazz up my background trying to match her t-shirt because she has on a purple shirt, and I know purple tends to be one of those hard colors, but I'm going to kind of incorporate green and purple together. And I'm using some Shimmers pasties, and it's actually a texture paste, but I just used a palette knife and just scraped it onto my white cardstock there. And now I'm going to water some of it down and do some splatters. Now, I did not use any gesso on this paper. I just kind of went for it. I knew I was going to start with that texture paste and just sort of scrape it on pretty thin. And I just wanted to create some purple in the background to kind of pull the purple in her shirt. And I want her, or the picture, on the right side because she's looking to the left. And so whatever I place on the left side of the layout, it's going to look like she's looking across the page at it. Now this is a Shimmers, I believe it's a Vibes. It's almost like a periwinkle blue color. It's called Blue Jeans. And sometimes it has a purple flair to it, I guess you could say. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it just depends on, I think it has more of a purple tone when it's kind of matched up with this purple pasties on the background. I decided to add a little bit of pink at this point. Now this layout kind of takes a different turn here as I go. I end up adding a lot more colors than I originally planned, but I like how it turns out. So the background is all dry. I did add a little bit of a pink spray there, and I immediately thought of the Crepe Paper Oasis collection. It's got a lot of those sunset type colors, the purples, those blues, the pinks, and the neutrals. And so I thought about using that, and I do use a couple pieces from that cut apart pattern paper. I'm just playing around with the tissue paper here. I kind of thought about putting it over the purple part and kind of fading it away, but it basically covered it up completely. So I scratched that idea and then just decided to use a little bit of tissue paper in the background, and I kind of go back and forth. I turn it this way, I turn it that way. I'm just kind of experimenting at this point. I know that I want those leaves to be kind of enveloping the photo, kind of like she's coming out of this tropical floral leafy cluster, I guess you could say. And I think that's kind of how it winds up. So I'm just going to use that as a layer with the tissue paper and then add those two pieces behind it. So now I've got a little bit of a pink, because at first I didn't even think about adding pink. But then I thought, well, let's introduce a third color and see how it looks, and I like it. So I'm going to use another piece from this paper, and it's got some of that navy in it, but it could also kind of go in the purple family, I think, because, you know, purple has so many different shades, and I like how that looks. But I take away the darker piece and just go with those two lighter pieces. Now, okay, here's where I start to bring in some things that are on my desk. That is a floral cut file that is from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, and I had cut it previously to use on a layout for one of my projects over there, and I wound up not using it, and I had already colored it for that project, and I just used some Shimmers paints to color the leaves green and the flower pink. And I never wound up using it, and so I thought it actually matches this perfectly, and it kind of goes with my tropical idea. So I thought I'm just going to use that. So that's why I didn't show myself coloring it on this layout, because it was already done. And I love how this is looking. I'm going to try to just lightly stick down some of these tropical leaves here so I kind of know where they're going to go. And I want some of them, you know, underneath the picture, and some of them over to the left, kind of like they're just floating around and coming out from behind everything. And see, now you can see that the purple on the background is separated from the photo with all the green, and so it kind of plays off her shirt and brings in some more of that color. And this is a really pretty pinkish purpley, more pinky color thread. It matches the pink in that flower. I'm just going to add a little bit more of that underneath the left side of the picture there, just to add some more of that color and texture. This is going to be a very dimensional layout, and it's going to have a lot of texture. I love working with leaves like this because you can stick down the center of them, and then the leaf parts are ruffled up, so it looks very dimensional. Okay, here's some more pieces that I had previously cut for, I think these were for a Paige Evans design team layout, and I wound up not using these. And I think some of these flowers are from the Silhouette Studio, and I think the yellow one there is from the Cut Shop. So it's a mix and match of things. And here's where I start to add in way more color than I originally had planned. I colored these flowers with gelatos. I had no idea I was going to bring in yellow or that coral color, but the more I added, the more I liked it, because it reminded me more of tropical things. You know, you've always, or I always, when I think of tropical flowers, I think of these bright colors. And, you know, my original plan was just to stay light and soft with the light purple and the light pink. But then I found these in my stash of stuff on my desk, and I was like, oh, let's see what this looks like. And I really liked it. It just kind of brightened everything up. And I'm just going to keep adding in some more pink of the spray. But so now I've got yellow over on the left, and then I've got that coral color. So I've got to do something to bring those colors over to the right. And I don't have any more of these flowers, and I was not about to cut more and color more. I just wasn't in the mood to do more cutting. I wanted to use what I had on my desk. And so I'm going to make it work. I'm going to glue everything down and cut off the excess. And now what I'm going to do is use the part of that yellow flower that I just cut off, and I'm going to use it on the other side. Even though it's just a little part, the way I can tuck it in there, it's going to make it look like a whole flower. And so now I've got some yellow on the right and some yellow on the left. And I've got more leaves now. And I really like how this is looking. I love how it just looks like she's kind of just in the tropical forest or rainforest, and she's sort of just coming out of all of these flowers, and I really like it. Now, that just happened to be on my desk as well. It is a epoxy sticker sheet from Amy Tan Rise and Shine, and it had a coral sticker. So I'm going to use that on the right, and it's going to bring that coral color over to the right. And then for my title, I'm going to use another one of the stamps. I'm going to use the one that said, "You are crazy beautiful." And I decided to stamp it on some vellum, and I'm going to use some gray archival ink. So it's going to be very light and subtle. I decided, since I had so much going on with the flowers and so much dimension and color, I didn't want to add like a big scripty font for a title. And I just wasn't in the mood to use thickers. And so I thought, I'm just going to put this on some vellum and then tuck it under here. So it's subtle, yet you can still see it. And I love how that turned out. And it just kind of looks like the piece of vellum is just kind of tucked away in the bushes. Well, not bushes, flowers. I did a little straight stitching on top of the piece of vellum there, and then added some more coral ink spray. And then I'm going to use this coral sticker, cut it in half, and use it over on the left. So I've got 3 points of the coral, and then I've got some blue over to the right, and that little blue epoxy sticker over on the left. And so now I kind of got all my colors going everywhere. I'm going to add in my journaling lines, and then add a little bit of journaling underneath here. And that is a Sharpie pen. I know I get a lot of questions about that. I'm going to finish it off with some more of the blue ink sprays, and then I'm going to glue in some sequins. These are some sequins from my stash. I've had them for a long time. I got them from a little online store that is no longer in service, and so that's my final layout. I love how this turned out. I love that I used those stamps. I love that I just sort of pulled things from my desk that were in my little bucket of stuff. And yeah, I did add a Tim Holtz sticker right there above the title. Hold on tight to your dreams. And that's from a little sticker book that I got from Michael's. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was lots of fun. Thank you to Laura for inviting me to design with her beautiful stamps. It was lots of fun. So stay tuned for another video coming soon with some more of these beautiful stamps. So check out the link below, and you can see all the stamps and the ink road. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.